the back of the house. Oh, no, leave me. You go with Vincent. I'll sort it out. I stayed with you because I want to talk about Vincent. I think it was foolish of you to give him that gun.
This is right. I trust him.
You shouldn't.
Why do you say that?
Don't you remember how he acted at the time of the inquest? He testified against you time and again. Very soon.
Testing, testing.
Vincent would have no reason to know. He and Valerie were quite close before you came along. Even after that. That isn't true. He even saw her the night she disappeared. You don't know what you're saying. At the inquest, he swore he wasn't on the island.
Well, good morning. How are you guys doing? Welcome to another edition of Morning Pages, where we create a track from a blank canvas all the way till arranging something into somewhat of a song structure. Usually takes us about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We spend the first hour or so just kind of experimenting and trying out some different sounds and different synths, and a lot of that is using some specific parameters. So let's go ahead and get started. I use Ableton Live 11, but as you can see, I also integrate a lot of hardware synths, including a little Eurorack and some other semi-modulars that you can't see. It's all on the other side of the studio. But I mainly do this, and I mainly broadcast because it keeps me accountable to myself. And the intention is to kind of show my workflow, but also to see if this can help other artists get motivated to make music every day, which is what I try to do. And yeah, this streak has been now going for almost 2 years, so pretty proud of that. But only recently have I been broadcasting this on Twitch, so thanks for joining. And yeah, why don't we get started and look at the parameters of the day. Oh, well, before we kind of go through that, right now you're listening to polyrhythmic hi-hat on the TR-8S. Maybe I'll throw in a kick drum and a snare. Give some rhythm. I've just got the online radio station, old-time radio playing in the background with some delay. And then, of course, we've got Beads with its own internal oscillator kind of going through, and I'm rhythmically pressing the seed button with the Batumi LFO. So we'll just have that on as background for now. And yeah, so today we're gonna keep it nice and slow. We're gonna be at 85 beats per minute, which is the beat that you're hearing right now is at 86. Let me turn it down to 85 so you get a little bit of an idea of where we're going today in terms of tempo. We're going to be using the key of F in Lydian Dominant. And today is MS20 day. We'll be using the Behringer K2, which is a Korg MS20 clone. And we'll also be using the VST, oh, and I said it's Arturia, but it's not Arturia, it's Korg. So disregard that. And we'll also be using OSCiLLOT as our live instrument. It's actually a Max for Live instrument. And we'll be using a sequencer called Cute Little Sequencer. Aww. The oblique strategy of the day is, what would your closest friend do? So I'm going to try to keep that in mind. Let me make my correction on the chat. It's a Korg MS20 VST, not a Turia. Just in case anybody wanted to know.
I saw somebody moving around the other room, so I came back. When I got to the other room, I found everyone.
What I do with these parameters is generate them every morning, and I try to follow them as close as possible, but it's a good way for me to explore different instruments and VSTs, because if you're like me, you've got a bunch of VSTs and you know, hardware that gets underutilized. So that's how I do it. That's how I do things. So if you're watching, let me know where you're from, and yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get started now. Let me turn down this beat. I'm just gonna clear this. It's a little scary.
Don't you see, the one who hopes to kill you is trying to break you down first. Now, for your own sake, you mustn't give in. I don't know who's behind all this, but I do know this.
There's some pretty cool samples coming through right now.
Don't you see that now? Nothing makes sense. Now you listen to me.
You know what I might do is I'm gonna capture some of this dialogue right now.
Still time while she's not here. Can't you see she's trying to kill you? Yes, don't be a fool. Carol is the one who lied to you. She and Everett both. They intended to murder you, but in the darkness and the fog, Carol made...
I'm going to go ahead and keep that running in the background quietly, and if there's something that piques my interest, I gotta go back to this VST really quickly to capture it, because I get a 30-second buffer, and it's not a Kong MS20.
They've been here on the island all evening. How do you know that? I know that because we saw that bridge with our own eyes. And I saw it again.
Darn autocorrect.
It's still down.
Okay.
Come on with me, Arthur, and you'll see for yourself.
No, you're trying to get me out of the house, out into that fog with Valerie.
Will you stop being an idiot?
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Here. Take this gun. That'll make you feel any better. Take it and hold it in my back while we're outside. Now, let's get away from Carol while there's still a chance.
All right. Give me the gun.
Yeah.
No.
You see that when I hover over the waveform, it'll actually pause, so there's a little longer buffer than 30 seconds. But once you let go, then you kind of lose out on that 30 seconds. Hey, how's it going, Samora?
You see? Carol and Everett were lying to us.
Thanks, yeah, I decided to put on some new lights to make things pop a little bit. Before, I didn't really have anything, and it looked kind of sterile, so I don't know if it's going to make me more creative, but yeah, I mean, it looks nice, and it's kind of fun to produce in an environment that's kind of more club-like, especially because right now in Hawaii it's 8 a.m. and this is when I usually do my creative work is in the morning. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that radio running quietly in the background, because sometimes there'll be like a phrase that'll catch my ear and I have to just go back and capture it, because, you know, otherwise it's pretty much gone. So this is like an old-time radio station. I don't know if you could read this down here, old-time radio on the radio app by Plug-in Boutique. If you're interested in this app, I'd wait for the Black Friday sales, because it goes down to like $5 or even less. Alright, well, thanks for joining, Samora. Alright, so let's get going. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tempo at 85 in Ableton. Tempo bar is right up here if you're new to the DAW. And I'm going to put my push into the F Lydian Dominant scale before I forget. So on the push, you have your choice of, I don't even know how many, but a ton of different scales. So Lydian Dominant, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Korg MS20 VST in here. I accidentally wrote Arturia, but let's look at the MS20. I think it's in my instruments favorites. Yeah. So let's go ahead and put this in.
If she's going to kill me, let her come and do it. You still got 50.
If you're familiar with Richard Devine, he actually put out a really cool pack of presets on MS20. So this is the MS20. I'm going to put this radio down a little bit. And then, sorry, in the background I also have beads running. I'm going to get that into our key in just a second so that we're all on the same page. And let me look at the program list. I think I can load a bank. And I might have a Korg folder in my Dropbox. See anything? Korg presets. And I've got these MS20 expansion. Oh yeah, this is the one I want to use. This is the MS20 Richard Devine bank. And the cool thing with this is all available. If you have this VST, it's available on Korg's website. So I love Richard Devine's sounds. I aspire to get a modular synth to his level. So let's go through some of these. We've only got 31 presets, but let's just use this first one to hear what that Lydian Dominant scale in F sounds like. I'm just going to go up the keyboard. So just being in the scale already kind of gives me some thought to what is all what the final track might sound like, you know, or at least the feeling. Cool. It's a little different of a scale than I'm used to, but so yeah, I don't even know how I would describe this scale. But let me know if any of you guys ever use it. My music theory is needs a lot of. I need more music theory in my life. That's kind of cool. Pass bass. So let's look at some more of these. I'm still loving that first one. Kind of cool. I mean, I'm gonna try to find a patch that is that would be hard for me to actually create myself. Oh, there's an Oberheim bass. Well, Underworld is one of my favorite bands. Nah, I think we're just gonna go with this first one. There's a lot of low to that. Well, we could always change it, but now that we have that loaded, let's go ahead and make sure that everything else is sort of working. So right now, you're hearing the Pro 1. But I want the, I think we're using, yeah, the Behringer K2, which is an MS20 emulation. And fair warning, I don't really know how to program this thing. I've been trying to learn, but it's still a mystery to me. So we're going to experiment with that. And so in order to get this guy to play, I need to move my Pro 1 patch into the K2, and it's on a different channel, so I'm gonna move my external instrument to the K2 because it's on channel 8. And you could kind of hear it. Maybe I should have tried to pre-patch something beforehand. But I am going to also rename that so we don't forget about it. And I'm going to create a random sequence now just so we could kind of get an idea of what the sound... I'm going to do a little bit of sound design. So let me go ahead and... So right now you're hearing the K2. Let me mess around, see if I can get a sound out of this. If anybody has any great tips, please let me know. So right now I'm messing with the filters. One of these days I'm gonna get another camera and I'll put it over here. I think it'd be more interesting than just seeing my back on Twitch. So I'm gonna make sure I'm in tune. I'm gonna use a square wave, I think. I got the mixer, both VCOs are at level 8. Get to a lower, let me increase the... Oh, I got the modulator going. So I'm using the filter type 1. But this is what I love about the MS20 sound, is the filter. I mean, it really screams. I'm gonna just push the resonance all the way up, and then sweep this thing, and you can hear the sweet spot. Apologies for your ears. So that's filter 1. Let's hear filter 2. One, two. It sounds similar on... I'm just messing with the cutoff frequency modulation. And I'm going to keep the frequency modulation at 0 because otherwise I'm going to get all kinds of mess like that. I'm going to change to the waveforms. Yeah, let's get kind of a lower register. All right. So if you just joined us, we're listening right now to a sequence on the MS20 clone by Behringer called the K2. Okay, getting a little sick of that pattern. Right now it's being generated by, this is my favorite sequencer, software sequencer. I don't have a Make Noise Renee that's on my list, but this is emulation of that, where you've got a bank of knobs for notes, 16 steps. You've got gates that you can turn off and on. And you can also change the number of steps to get some cool, like, polyrhythmic sounding rhythms. And then you could also change the number of steps here, which will give you some even more variation. And the cool thing, you also have velocity. And then the cool thing is you also have a custom bank that you can either randomize, or you could change some of the parameters, just like on the note. Like if I only wanted notes on the lower register, I can just restrain the pitch to this level right here. So with the custom knob, you can actually map this to other parameters within Live, and I think you could also send this custom parameter sequence out to, if you use CV tools in Ableton, you can send it out to modular. And then obviously you can also send it out to a MIDI channel to manipulate per step whatever parameter you would want on an external synth. It's a little too low for me. I'm gonna okay, and so here's the thing. The other great thing about having all of this in Live is makes it really easy to, in Eurorack terms, you could quantize, which is make sure that the pitch is within your scale. But I digress. You can put in a scale MIDI effect. And let's restrict it to our F Lydian Dominant scale, so we don't have to worry about notes being out of scale. Oh hey, thanks Samora. Hey, thanks for subscribing. That's awesome. You know what? You're my first subscriber. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm totally new to Twitch, so I'm still trying to figure out the ins and outs. But one of these days I'll get it. But I really appreciate that subscribe. That's awesome. See, my own mother hasn't even subscribed yet. So, thank you. So right now, the sequence is running in Lydian Dominant. And then I'm just changing randomly the pitches. And then you can also let's see, I just want to make sure that we're in the right key. So actually, let me do a quick tune. This should be F. Yeah, we're close. The great thing about the Behringer stuff is just because they're newer, like they're pretty good with the tuning. Where's my master tune on here? Just lost it. Where did it go? Oh, well, we can mess with the pitch over here. Let's make it slightly flat. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the sequence run again, and then well, no, you know what? I take it back. Maybe this will be a good bass. Just for good measure, let's go ahead and put in a 4 on the floor beat in our tempo so we kind of know where we're going. It's better than having the metronome, I think. Oh yeah, that's right. We're at a really slow tempo. And then just for fun, let me put in some hi-hat. And then let me get back to the K2. Huh. This is a really tough scale for me. Maybe something like that. Let's just see how this will go. Yeah, it's kind of a cool little 6-bar loop. I'm gonna just keep it for now. The other thing is that, you know, with morning pages, you can, you know, do whatever, and you always have tomorrow. And I'm only saying that because I'm not super happy with this this current bass line, but you know, things will turn out. So how about with this MS20, we still have to use this cute little sequencer, this Max for Live device. I haven't used it much, but I think this one's made by Alexkid, and it's available on Isotonic Studios. Cute little. I haven't used it a lot, so this will be, yeah, it's a MIDI effect. Yeah, it's by Alexkid. Let's see what this looks like. And if you haven't noticed already, I love sequencers. Oh yeah, look, it's like a little 8-step sequencer. And my eyes are bad, so I gotta move the monitor out a little bit and move closer, see what I'm doing. So, oh, cool. So it's got a bunch of like random buttons, and then you can also, so it's got a lane for gate, one for pitch and one for velocity, kind of similar to that Rene emulation right here, this MDD snake. So let me go ahead and generate a random gate. And then let me put in a tuner. Just, I don't have perfect pitch, so that's just a C. I guess 14 is C. And then while we're at it, actually, we can put in another Lydian Dominant just to make sure that we're restricted to the right. So let me randomize this pitch. I kind of like. So I just randomized the velocity. Oh, this is cool too. So we actually have a little scale. What do they call this? I always call it a quantizer, but I know quantizer is different. I call it a quantizer because that's the Eurorack term. So what were we in? Lydian? Anybody see that? Lydian Dominant. So we actually don't even need that one. And then there's a global random, so I'm just gonna click this a few times and then see what we get. Oh, I kind of like that. So I am going to change the number of steps. It's pretty cool. And if you can tell, see, the gate is set at 5. So that's why we're getting like these cool, it sounds like it's almost random, but it's running the gate pattern at 5 steps and the pitch pattern at 4 and the velocity at 4. I like that. And then if I want to capture that MIDI, I just have to add a MIDI track next to this VST and then put the MIDI from on that, which is not clicking. MIDI from, what's going on? MIDI from, not all ends. I can't click on any of these, what's going on? Well, this isn't working right now, I don't know why. But what you would normally do is you would click MIDI from and you would just select the track you would want to capture that MIDI from. And then press record and then you'll get that in a clip. But look, everything is very slow. I think I already have one over here that's set to that MIDI. So let me go ahead and capture that. So right now you're seeing the MIDI being recorded from that cute little sequencer, Max for Live device. And I'm just recording them as MIDI notes on another track. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just capture this for maybe 16 bars. And then we can add we could even add something different. Yeah, Slim Pickens. It's not a Juno 60. I wish I got the Juno 60 instead of the 106, but I did get this a long time ago. This is the Juno 106, and I've got like 3 bad chips on it, and it does make a sound, but not very good sounds. It's real scratchy. Actually, since you brought it up. And then this is actually the Prophet 6. I was considering the Oberheim, but I do have an Oberheim Matrix 1000 rack mount over here. It's not modified, so it's really difficult to go in and manipulate the sound. So it's basically a preset machine, but it's still got all of those great Oberheim sounds. So I was like, okay. So it was a choice between the Prophet 6, which I've always wanted a Prophet 5. But yeah, the Prophet 5 was a little outside my budget. So I picked up the Prophet 6 and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, we're gonna use the Prophet 6, and then really quickly, I'll show you what I mean with the Juno. I mean, you already can hear the scratchiness. I'm gonna solo out this track. See, it's really hard to tame. I don't even know where some of this is coming from. And then the pots are scratchy. So I just moved the volume and now I can't hear anything. Oh, that's because my portamento's on. And then something is manipulating the filter. So sometimes you can get a sound. See, 1. So that needs to be serviced. Hey, Qubit. So yeah, that's why I don't use it a lot, but I will use it for like some weird random noises once in a while. And so on my last record, I have it in the first track, and mainly because it's like one of those weird ambient, real crazy bleeps and bloops noises. And that was great for that, because that's all that thing can do right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and take that out for now. And then yeah, later on in the show, I'm gonna add the Prophet 6. I usually like that for strings or just anything that would cut down on the harshness of, because right today is the like MS20 day on this program, because I've got the K2 running and the Korg MS20 VST on there. So let's take a quick look. What do we have? So this is the K2. And I'm not loving this anymore, but maybe I can move this up. And in fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Rather than use that, I'm going to I'm gonna have them complement each other. So we just recorded in from that little sequencer what's playing on the MS20 VST. I'm gonna put that on this track. So it's playing the same exact sequence, but what we can do is kind of mess with it a little bit. The great thing, if you guys are using Live 11, is this new chance lane. You actually have to click this little, I don't even know what that is, this little symbol right down here on the bottom where my mouse is to get the chance lane. And if you can select whatever MIDI note you want, and then you can move them up or down, and it'll change the chance that that note will actually fire. So if I pull this down to like 30% or 33%, only a third of them are gonna fire. So, and it'll be random every time it passes through, which I think is kind of a cool thing. Yes, Gnome Fire. The morning page parameters are selected randomly, and actually, I'll show you that since you asked. Oh, how do you like Slim Pickens? How do you like that MS20? Let me find the right. So I've got it on a Google Docs over here. Sorry, if I run Chrome and OBS at the same time, it takes a while. So I've got my studio map over here. These are my, this represents my patch bay. I haven't updated it in a while, but it gives me, let me turn this down. So that, yeah, right here, this is the MS20 MS20. The emulation by Behringer. And I'm still waiting for this document to load, but I'll show you once it loads up. But I think I'm dropping a lot of frame rates right now. Oh, here we go. So I have live random devices down here. And I'll show you. This one's will have already generated a whole new set. Click on it. It's still waiting for it to load. Here we go. So yeah, it's just a spreadsheet. Yeah, here we go. And you'll see I've hidden rows 6 through 161, and that's where I just, in each of these categories, I wrote down everything that I have software-wise, and then for the key and scale, I've listed out all of the ones that are in stock in Live's Ableton Push. And then, yeah, so every day I'll just generate this thing and I'll put them on. Every once in a while I'll cheat. Like today, since the Korg MS20 came up, I put the K2 as my hardware. But let me go ahead and shut this down because it looks like I'm really slowing down. Okay. I think my frame rates should go back up in a second. And then, so with this, it's a little too low on my register. The other thing that I can do is I could invert this. So they kind of complement each other and won't really overlap. And then I can move this chance up to maybe 40%. I'm going to move this low C up an octave. Or maybe another. Yeah, so it's starting to sound better than what we had before. The other thing with Live 11 is now you can restrict your clip view by scale. So if you click on this button on the side that says scale, it'll already remember or see what you have on the push if you're using push and live at the same time, and give you the scale view. So right now everything in the scale is will be shaded yellow, and then now we can kind of, if we wanted to, we can add some of our own notes. I'm going to add some of these at the end. This is so weird. I'm like losing mouse functions. Is it my mouse? No, I think my CPU is just loaded for some reason. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I can't even move anything. Mahalo. Yeah, I'm broadcasting right now in Honolulu. It is 8:50 and it's a sunny day and quite hot. So yeah, shouldn't have worn gray. Okay. So that's what we have so far. I'm gonna turn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go DAWless. I haven't had the guts to, although what I've been doing is, have you guys heard of the Conductive Labs Noodler? I've been using this a lot recently in a kind of a DAWless fashion. I can, it's still MIDI, but I'll send out some of the MIDI to some of these synthesizers and then just play with the Noodler. You got 4 parts. You got a pad, a drone, and then 2 lead parts, one of which could be a bass part. And you just kind of tweak the parameters with the knobs and choose a scale. And yeah, it's a real fun way to jam. But yeah, I haven't been able to go DAWless yet. As you can see, the dominant screen on this channel is live, because that's what I'm comfortable with. But yeah, I got to get out of my comfort zone. But I'm gonna turn this around to the little modular setup that I have, and let's go ahead and work on this. Speaking of going DAWless, this is still all being recorded into live. But Slim Pickens, do you go DAWless? Are you or are you using some software too to make music? Okay, so right now you can see Beads is running with no inputs because, and that's why it's just droning on its own. And you can see the seed is being pressed. So what I'm gonna do is so now we'll get a little bit of a tone, and let me pull this up. Turn on my tuner, and I want to tune this. We're just going to use, for now, we're just going to use the internal wavetable and find a drone that we like. That's G. Is this F? F. Here we go. Here's F. And we're using the scorch tape setting. Maybe I'll have to go down an octave. That sounds like F, right? Yeah, so before I lose any of this, especially with modular, I just like starting to record. Especially since it's so unpredictable. I love how some of those little random notes come out. This Beads is such a great module. Then I'm going to change the internal modulators a little bit. And this will be great to just have in the background. It adds some atmosphere. And, I don't even think I'm going to need to add any other effects. Just hear how a drone especially will just evolve. And mind you, we're only using the internal wavetable synth, which is actually the same wavetable that they have, that Mutable has in Platts. I think I could listen to this all day. All right, I mean, before I go into deep meditation, I think I'm gonna have to stop it. I'll let it go a little bit longer. Jeez, that sounds so good. See, I can't select this for some reason. I can on my MIDI controller. So, yeah. See, I can't use my mouse to change these knobs, to turn these knobs. Huh. Weird. So I'm going to turn off that. What we recorded. Okay, before we get too nuts on that. I'm pretty happy with the K2 and the MS20. We still need to use that OSCiLLOT live instrument. Actually, it's not a Ableton live instrument. It's Max for Live, and I think it's made by that company Max for Cats.
I heard someone laughing. The voice came from behind me. I turned around to look.
So,
It could have been the laugh we heard. But we were there. How could she possibly have heard anything at the precise moment we did? The old man said it was his.
so let me check that. I'm gonna just put in another MIDI track.
Thunder, Carol. It's been threatening to rain all day. Every time the old man said he heard the voice, did you notice how the wind would spring up?
And we're gonna have to find OSCiLLOT.
It was there. Never forget it.
Well, what are we going to do?
Max for Live, MIDI instrument. So we've got a lot of presets, but let's put in the initial one, which I think is just gonna be a real basic, maybe saw or square. Let's see. Oh, hey, thanks Slim Pickens for coming. Cheers. I appreciate you watching. I'll check out your channel soon. Okay, oh, I see. Oh, we gotta open the editor. Oh my gosh. So this is really like starting from zero. This is like a modular synthesizer. You have to put in an oscillator, and then you have to make the connections. Okay, well this is a morning page. I don't want this to become 3 hours because if you come back later on this afternoon, I'm gonna try to start this thing called Finish Friday. So I'm gonna take a morning page from last week, and I'm gonna try to finish it in a couple hours. You know, put in the special details. It's not gonna be as, I don't think it'll be as fun, but it's mainly just for me because I need to actually finish music rather than just having all of these starting points. So I'm gonna pick a preset here because otherwise this will be several hours. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, let's just use this for some noises. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Prophet 6, and then I'm going to sequence it with the, maybe with the noodler. Although I have to see if that noodler has the scale that we're in. Okay. Oh, this is going to actually take up a lot of resources. Oh, it's a self-generating one. Let me put eco on. Okay. How about this? I'm gonna capture some of this audio and we can manipulate it later. Okay, that's enough. And then I'm gonna, let me put in another, we'll use another preset from here. Or maybe this FM mod piano. Hey, thanks, Samora. Yeah, if you could swing by. I think 12 noon my time, so in 3 hours. I'll just probably go on for a couple hours, and then it might not be as interesting because I'm just probably gonna try and finish something. And that's when you'll see all of the faux pas that I do. Let me... Oh yeah, look at how much CPU this is using. This is bad news. Okay. Scratch that. Let's see if there's a lower... low pass gate example. You hear that radio screaming? Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think with a lot of musicians, I think it's easy to start ideas, but then to actually go in and finish something is, I don't know, there's just a lot of little blocks that can happen. So I'm giving myself a couple hours to finish a track. So after this, I'm gonna try to find one that I would want to finish. Let's see. This takes so much CPU, you know. I'm gonna nix this idea. We did get a little bit of the OSCiLLOT noise in there, and I'm just gonna deal with that. I'm running a 2012 Mac Mini, and it's just starting to show its age now that I started live streaming. So I'm waiting for the announcement to see what Apple's going to be coming out with, like if it's the M1X or the M2 chip, and then yeah, I might have to upgrade at that point. Yeah, it's a 2012. It's pretty decent specs. Yeah, it's pretty decent specs. I mean, I think it's an i7, but yeah, it is showing its age. And I've got the solid state drives in there. I was running a 2015 MacBook Pro as my main machine, my studio machine. But I didn't realize that if you kept it plugged in, that the battery doesn't like it. And so this thing, I don't know if you can see, but the clamshell doesn't close. And there's a big kind of, it's hard to see from there, but like there's like it's bubbling up. So I just backed it all up, took this out of commission, and I'm trying to figure out if I can salvage it. But that was my main studio computer. But one of the things with I guess the MacBook Pros is that they don't want you to keep it plugged in. Yeah, you know, I was actually waiting for the announcement, because if they are coming out with new MacBook Pros this month, then I wouldn't want to spend money to get the battery fixed. Because I think it's like $200. But yeah, no, that's a good idea. I don't want it to leak. But luckily I transferred all that information to this, which is my backup machine. And yeah, things seem to be running well. But yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, for sure. Getting a new computer would be great. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it, and it's already 2021, so next year it'll be a 10-year-old computer. But it served me well. And, I mean, I think it still runs pretty decently, but, yeah, the stream is probably pretty choppy. Right now I'm at 20 frames per second, and I have 213 dropped frames, and yeah, and then when you're running live at the same time, then it's kind of... okay, so I think maybe we'll start wrapping this thing up. Let's create a... let's create a little more interesting drum. So, yeah, we'll just make this a little. And then for the open hats, I'm gonna, yeah, what's going on? I can't draw anything. Yeah, I'm frozen. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do here, so what I'll do here is I'm gonna just program everything on the TR-8S. Copy that. Make an 8-bar. And then we're gonna change up maybe the timing of these percussions. I'm gonna make the last step different on these, so we'll have a little bit of a variation. And then, so with the kick drum, I'm going to change up this kick drum. Oh yeah, just like a long 808. Since we're at a slow tempo. And then the snare. I think we're back to where we started on that snare. Okay, let's mess with these toms a little bit. Yeah, let's. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's make this. Okay. Oh, is it OBS? Yeah, I guess I've found that with yeah, OBS does take a lot of resources. Um, I do have another old 2012 backup from a MacBook over here. I can try that, but I'm not quite sure how I would do that. But yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, let me see. It says it's only like taking 27.9% CPU, but does it also calculate it? Is that like a true CPU reading, or is it like live, which is actually the CPU up here is only showing me what live is taking? Because I guess if that's true, then that's already 60% right there, or more. See, now I can select things. That's so weird. What I'll do now is I'm going to capture these drums from the TR-8S. So everything was programmed in the TR-8S 808 or XOX style. The great thing about having it kind of integrated into the DAW is that I'm able to now just record that in as MIDI. So I'll do maybe 32, and you're gonna hear it doubling up. Maybe we'll do 24 bars. So in the meantime, Samora, what kind of setup do you have? And do you use a DAW? Okay, that's good for now. And then, so now that I have all the MIDI out here, what I'll usually do is if I want to keep that program here, then I would just copy and paste it to another program and then delete it, because, with this way, you don't want, MIDI coming in here and also playing the internal sequencer. But since, this is just, this is our morning page, I'm going to clear everything, but I want to keep all 8 bars in here, because what I'm going to do now is when this plays, and actually I'll have to quantize this. Let me make sure that first hit is on there. Yeah. So I'll quantize it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some motion recording, and I like panning my hi-hats and maybe messing with the delay on that. Instrument, don't make music. Dude, you have talent. But I'm really happy that you're checking this out. I mean, I would definitely, if you have an interest in music, yeah, check out, there's free versions of Ableton Live. I think the Live Lite is free if you get a little MIDI controller. I mean, that's how I started, just messing around with software. This was back in the day when I think before Ableton, but it was Cubase. I had no idea what I was doing, and yeah, and then graduated to Logic, and then now Ableton. But yeah, it's just like little baby steps. But I'm happy that you're interested in watching this process. That's cool. Okay, so let's hear this, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna motion record. The first thing I'm gonna do is motion record the hats, the panning of the hats. So if you're listening to this in stereo, you'll hear that, and then after I'm through with 8 bars, you're gonna hear that motion kick in. Ah, thanks. I appreciate that, Samora. Okay, let's go ahead and motion record this. Let me make sure. Pan, okay. Here we go. Let's record this. Okay, now I'm gonna change the morph of a couple of these toms. So it's a little different, yeah? So now we have a little bit, it's a little more interesting. Let me also mess with the tuning of some of these toms. I also mess with the decay of that open hat, and then also, since we're here, yeah, look at that. I can't move anything, but I can do keyboard shortcuts work. So strange, and I can move things around. I have the lav on, but thanks. Yeah, I just picked up a cheap lav, and then I decided to also, let me show you. This poor H5 field recorder over here. I just have the lav going on there. Sorry, you see my toilet paper in the back from Costco. Just made a Costco run. This is my Zoom field recorder, so I'm just using that for the mic, and then now I put in the guitar, which you can hear right there. Yeah, and it seems to be working out a lot better, and then I don't have to worry about like turning around and, you know, speaking in the shotgun mic. So yeah, I think it might have been you that gave me some of that advice about my sound not being quite right. So yeah, thank you so much. Let's see. See, the weird thing is now it looks like I can edit things now. So let me find my crash cymbal. There we go. See, yeah, it's working now. That's so weird. We'll put another crash cymbal right there. Maybe just every 16th, yeah. That's pretty. Every 16 bars. shorten that to 24. Okay. I also want to be sure to record in this K2. I haven't done that, and look at that. I'm gonna record. This is the synthesizer I'm recording in, so I'm gonna mess with the filter a little. It's kind of sharp sounding. That's okay. Realize my levels are really high, so sorry about the eardrums. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's. This was an odd time signature, so let me just see how this loop point sounds. Yeah, sounds pretty good. And I'm gonna just keep this part dry. I'm not even gonna put any effects. I just love how that MS20 sounds. The other thing I would want to do is I need to also record the MS20 synth. This little guy right here. Instead of having it as MIDI, because I'm using that the cute little sequencer. And let's just see how this goes. So this is my VST track. I'm gonna record it. Let's see. With the filter with my mouse. The cool thing about having this VST, this MS20 VST, is it's the same exact interface as what you see on the K2. So if I really wanted to learn this synth, I could kind of copy some of these patches here and apply it to the hardware and see if it's similar. All right, I think we got enough of that. And let me put my loop point here too. Let's just see how that sounds. Yeah, I don't hear anything weird. All right. Now this is always a moment of truth. I'm gonna move my drum track. In the past, I have gotten a lot of crashes. So, if it crashes, then hopefully we'll see you for Finish Friday. Okay, good, we're good. So I'm going to move all of this over. I think we recorded all of our parts. I was going to record in a Prophet 6, but I kind of like where we're going with what we currently have. So let me move all of this over to arrangement. And hopefully, because this is going to require a lot of mouse clicking. So hopefully everything's good. Let me get rid of these tracks. Yeah, this computer is just choking. Now, usually when you delete a track, it's like a pretty simple thing. Okay. So, oh, well, one thing I do want to put in before I forget is some audio from the radio app. Earlier, we found these 3 clips. So let's go ahead and put these up here. And then we're just gonna randomly put in some little vocal hits. And yeah, we'll put some effects on there. Make sure we have used everything we said we were going to. Yeah. And let me put in, let's put in some, let's see how this sounds actually first.
Disappeared the night Valerie.
Well, of course it did. It drowned with her.
No! The cat's come back to the island. I heard it at night.
What you heard was probably a stray cat that wandered onto the island across the bridge. Now,
okay, this is just captured from that radio app. So let's.
Yes, who's this?
Oh, micro pitch. Oh, that's such a great sample.
she's hooked. What are you talking about?
The cat was with her. She said I had 6 hours. Disappeared the night Valerie did.
Well, of course it did. It drowned with her.
No! The cat's come back to the island. I heard it at night.
What you heard was probably a stray cat that wandered onto the island across the bridge. Now,
Okay. Hello.
I can't.
Yes, who's this?
Okay.
You have 6 hours to live on.
Oh yeah, that is such a great sample. 6 more hours. Okay, that's what we want right there. We want to start our track off with that. I also don't want to forget about these little things that we recorded in. Maybe we do need another audio track in there. That would be a good way to start. So yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, things are slowing down. I'm gonna have to restart the computer before I do anything later this afternoon. Okay, let me find that 6 more hours.
Disappeared the night Valerie did.
well, of course it did. It drowned with her.
No! The cat's come back to the island. I heard it at night.
What you heard was probably a stray cat that wandered onto the island across the bridge. Now,
Okay. Hello.
I can't.
Yes, who's this?
Listen. You have 6 hours to live on.
Oh, that is such a great sample. Why can't I select anything? Oh. All right. I am unable to click on anything. What is it? Sorry if this has become a troubleshooting episode. Seems like I can click on other things. Let me get rid of what I don't need. I think everything is good. It seems like if I just wait a second, then things will settle down. Yeah, thanks. That sample is so cool. That's why that radio app is one of my favorites. Okay. So, I think it was around here. I don't know. Everything is so slow. Okay, how about this? I'm gonna save and then restart. And in the meantime, feel free to ask me anything. Actually, this will be interesting. This will show you my naming conventions. I put the date, I put the scale, F. Lydian Dominant, and then the beats per minute, 85. And then I'll call it, I just call it whatever randomly comes to mind. Sometimes it's like things from a dream or whatever, but cats come home, how about that? And then I'll just put it in my September folder and we'll save it. And hopefully when we restart, we'll be all good. Okay. So let me restart live. Oh, 6 hours to live. That would have been a better one. Okay, I'll rename that later on. Okay. This will also be a good test to see how long this project will take to load. Okay, I am loading it right now. Oh, is it drop? Yeah. It says that I'm at 30 frames per second now, but that's because my program's closed. But yeah, thanks for letting me know. Okay, so we're still loading. And I don't show my load screen, but see, it's still coming up. Usually it shouldn't be taking this long, so yeah, you're right. I think it is an OBS issue. Gotta get all of my samples. That's what I have to do. I think display capture has to... Here we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see if this is any better. Got the rainbow wheel of death. Let me... Yeah.
Disappear the night. Disappear the night. Well, of course it did. Drown with her. The cats come back to the island. I heard with my touch you heard was probably a stray cat that wandered onto the island and crossed the bridge. Now, okay. Hello.
I am.
Yes, who's this?
Listen. You have 6 hours to live by. Just 6 more hours.
It was Valerie. She spoke to
There we go. So much better. I'm able to move things around now easily. Alright. So of course we're going to have to start off with that quote, and I'm going to have to bring it back in a little bit later as well. That's cool. So the other thing I might do is I hear some other stuff coming in. Let's turn all of these things off, because it might... This might save some CPU. Okay. So everything I'm just going to move. Everything's just going to be moved over. At least a couple. Because we want to start off just with this.
You have 6 hours to live by.
Okay. Cool. And actually, we might keep our drone going. Let me rename these. This is the K2 lead 1. And then this one is the MS20 VST lead 2. And I want to keep these, well, let's see. Actually, they'll complement each other no matter what. I'll have that one come back a little bit later. Let me turn off that radio app because I can still hear it. And we've got some other samples to play with. Maybe this weird little glitchy sound could also start the track. I'm gonna not have anything here. Maybe we can start off with some of those percussive sounds, but I want to get rid of the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat. And the open hat. So, in fact, that might work over here too. Have this come in right here. Maybe over here. My levels are quite high, so let me just pull everything down a little bit. 6. Oh yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna just subtly start putting things in. I'm gonna fold this up so I can just see the parts that we have. We have the kick, the snare. Maybe I won't even put the snare in yet, or the hi-hats, or the open hats. So it'll just right here. Yeah. This drone is a little loud. Pull that down so it's just kind of in the background, adding just enough so that if it drops out, you'll miss it. Oh yeah, and then we need to put in some snare hits, maybe just a little slight snare, slow snare roll. That's too much. I want cat, cat, cat. Yeah. And then this part, let me go back. Just grab a full one. This is why I like editing in MIDI, because you can, you know, rather than having to reprogram and then figuring out how it's going to fit into a final song on the TR-8S, you can pick and choose what sounds you want sounding. And then this is where we'll bring the hi-hats in. Oh, actually, let's put in a little break right here. And then this guy will go, we'll put in a break right here. And then I'm gonna so right here is when we can have another sample come in. We'll just have to figure out which sample. And we already used the best one, or at least in my mind. Let's see. Cut out some of those. Maybe something over here.
Don't you see, the one close to Kid was trying to bring you down first. Now, for your own sake, you mustn't give in. I don't know who's behind all this, but I do know this.
Sorry, Samora, I missed that. What part were you talking about? Is there something you'd want me to change?
Listen to me well, because there isn't a regular time. They drove across that bridge at 9 tonight. They've been here on the island all evening. I know that because we saw that bridge with our own eyes. And I saw it again just 10 minutes ago. It's still down. Which is saying how fond we are when you see this stuff. No! No, you're trying to get me out.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Stop being an idiot. There. Take this gun. That'll make you feel better. Take it and hold it in my back while we're outside. Now let's get away from Carol while there's still a chance. All right. Give me the gun. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this whole fight scene with a gun. With let me recolor this one. I'll color that one yellow. And our break is right here. So I'm going to add a little locator. BRK. And I'm going to move this one out. And then with these samples, I mean, maybe we don't even need anything. Let's see. Oh yeah. I'm gonna move this one over here.
Take this gun. That'll make you feel better. Take it and hold it in my back while we're outside. Now let's get away from Carol while there's still a chance.
Okay. There we go. That actually fits perfectly. I'm going to cut this part out and silence that. And then let me, I'm going to add some delay right here. Delay right here. And rather than, yeah.
Take this gun. That'll make you feel better. Take it and hold it in my back while we're outside. Now let's get away from Carol while there's still a chance.
There we go. And then this is actually where we will bring in this MS20.
While there's still a chance.
Ooh, this one's, okay, wait. This part right here is really sharp. Okay, watch your ears. Watch your ears, Samora. This might be a good place to put a little transition. It might not be perfectly at, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit, and I might put some EQ so it's not super sharp. EQ 8. Okay, watch your ears again. I'm just looking at the frequencies. Yeah, we're just gonna. Yeah, so it's just a little. And then we should find another sample. So I like this female vocal over here. Take it right here. Make it a better color. I'm not even going to use this one. a little too busy. Let's see. Let's see, I think maybe right here. Yeah. Okay, this will be a good break. This utility, I'm going to have this fade in. No, I don't like the fade. We'll just bring it in like that. And then we need to bring in another element around here. Actually, maybe we can manipulate the drums a bit. Maybe we'll put in a little a ride cymbal. That's not the right ride cymbal that I would want. That's a cowbell. Let's put in a 909 ride cymbal. Something like that. And then real quiet, just to add something. Is that the right? No. I think it's, yeah, 8. No, it's 16th. I didn't realize that. No. Okay, take that back. We'll just keep this basic for now, and then maybe we could drop, maybe we'll drop this out. But I did want to find something new to bring in. But, you know, that's what would be, you know, if we use this track for Finish Friday, then I would say, oh, okay, let's bring in a new element. But, you know, this is our morning sketch. And it's no longer really morning. I've been on here for quite a while. So thank you so much, Samora, for sticking around. I think we're just going to end this thing. Maybe right around here, because we could just drop out the drums all together. Just end it right around here, and then yeah. Why don't we bring in that 6 hours to live sequence right around here. Maybe we'll end this also right here.
just 6 more hours.
Oh, okay. Can you see me now? Are we back up? Okay, great. Something happened. Okay, and so here we go. This will be our track for the day. If you like it as is, be sure to go over to SoundCloud. I'll post this in my morning pages playlist. I think of that as sort of my journal. Only I don't put a lot of personal stuff in there because it's music, so it's open to interpretation. So let's see how this sounds all together, and yeah, we'll see you in a few hours. I'll be on at 12 noon Hawaii time. That's in 2 hours. I'm going to spend the rest of this time trying to figure out what song to finish. And yeah, we'll just look at the rest of that process. It'll probably be less interactive, just because I'll be doing some things kind of quickly on screen and maybe re-recording some things. But I'm going to try as much as possible to talk through what I'm doing, much like I do on my morning pages. So let's take a listen to this. And sorry. That was crazy feedback. Oh my God. That messed up my ears. Okay, here we go. Sorry, Samora. Okay, here we go. Our morning page of the day.
You have 6 hours to live by. Just 6 more hours.
Take this gun, that'll make you feel better. Take it and hold it behind back while we're outside. Now let's get away from Carol while there's still a chance.
All right, everyone. So that's our jam for the day. The thing I love about this morning pages process is that, you know, it's not the best song, but it didn't exist just a couple hours ago. So just bring more art into the world, and yeah, I'm excited to hear some of your music and jams as well. And hey, thanks for the raid. I've never had a raid before, so that is pretty cool. Thanks for coming. And again, I'll be on in 2 hours. I'm gonna come back on at 12 noon for Finish Friday. It'll be my first Finish Friday, so I don't know how it's gonna go. But rather than have parameters and make a track from start to finish, I'm gonna go back and look at an old morning page and see if I can actually finish it into maybe not quite releasable, but at least to the point where I can then go in and mix and master and do all of that. Oh, 11 p.m. over there. Are you over? You're in Europe? Go raid someone too. Hey, how do I do that? I'm new on Twitch, so I'm trying to figure all this out. I've got my stream manager over here, and I'm down for raiding someone else. /raid space name. Is there anyone I should raid in particular? Oh, actually, I think I have the auto raid on, and I'm going to be raiding Sander Klepper. He's from that shrimp guild. The Golden Shrimp Guild. Shoots. Okay. I'm going to read up on how to raid, because I don't know how to do that. Oh man, it is 3 in the morning. Get some sleep. But hey, thanks for coming by. And yeah, again, all of these morning page jams, I'm now going to start putting them on my SoundCloud page. So if there's anything that you like, or if there's anything that you hear on there that you think I should finish for Finish Friday, then let me know. Great seeing you guys. And when I stop broadcasting, let's see where you guys go. I think I have this auto raid going. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. This is awesome. Aloha.